Let's get back to our conversation about this asylum ban first. The president put it in place. What was it designed to do, and what did it consist of?
So the January 20th proclamation, it was almost a reset button on steroids that got us back to where we had been at the end of the first Trump administration, that was under Title 42, so a bit of a different reason, but essentially just shut down asylum processing, meaning anyone who comes to the border or to the point of entry is just not processed. They're rejected and sent back. And it was a very sweeping proclamation that essentially just canceled asylum is the basics of what it did. And, that's a reason that we've seen some of the lower numbers along the border. And it also, in my, opinion, really allowed the Trump administration to sort of check the border, as done and then focus on the interior, which is why we've seen so much enforcement and family separation in the interior. So with this decision, this is a good decision, and it takes us back to the question of can Trump really shut down asylum at the border? And the judge held that no, he cannot.
How does that figure in now what the Supreme Court says about judges making decisions that have affect more than just in a particular jurisdiction, or does this not fall under that most recent Supreme Court decision?
Well, that decision was about nationwide injunctions, and an injunction is a temporary emergency measure put in place by a judge. It's not a full decision on the merits. So this case is not a temporary decision. This was a final decision. It was a 128-page decision. And in addition to deciding on the merits, Judge Moss found that there's a class here, which is the alternative to injunctions that the Supreme Court discussed. So this particular decision and case should not be impacted by that Supreme Court decision. But of course, the fact that the Supreme Court ruled the way that they did raises issues for how this appeal is going to go, because this decision by Moss will certainly go up to the D.C. Circuit and presumably also up to the Supreme Court. But it's pretty blatantly against the Immigration and Nationality Act, which of course is a law passed by Congress, which is something that a president cannot change by proclamation. So I would be surprised if the Supreme Court did not at least find along the same lines as Moss at the end of the day.